I'm very happy to be here today, and I found your work and I think it's amazing, so I would like to know a bit more about you.
I was traveling in India in 2012, and I was doing research for my graduate collection at Central St. Martin's, and then I came across this small craft organization where they do different types of craft work, but they had started this initiative with collecting plastic waste that was floating around in the landscape, and then cleaning it and weaving it and ultimately making it into textiles. So the work with the organization began back in 2012. And I did my graduate collection, so I was making clothes out of the plastic, which was a bit more experimental than what it is now with the bags, but that was how the work with India started. And then I worked in the industry after I graduated at
Where did you work at?
A fashion house Celine in London and Paris. And it was really at that time where I was exposed to the amount of textile waste that exists within the modern fashion industry.
Generally.
And at that time I was also aware that some of the other big houses, they were burning their surplus collections of clothing and textiles, and I just saw all this really great material going to waste, and I guess that was where I thought, okay, I want to start a project where I use some sort of elements of recycledness or upcycledness. And because I had previously worked with the textile waste,
made sense.
Yeah, then I had a really good idea of, okay, let me go back to what I was working with for my graduate collection and try and develop a new project like this. So I just jumped into it, and I lived in India for 6 months.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And
how was living there?
Yeah, it was great.
Interesting.
Yeah, I love India, and I've been there 3 times, and yeah, I have a great connection with the culture, and the people are so friendly, and it's just an explosion of colors when you travel around, and you get so much inspiration. So I lived there for a bit, and I was spending a lot of time with the organization and really learning about the details of the method, of how they're working, and I was following them around when they were doing trips into the local towns to collect the plastic. And we did these designs together, so I was experimenting with what can they actually weave in the plastic, what is possible. So I was doing drawings, and then they were weaving it, and we were trying out designs out with where they embroidered with the plastic as well onto the woven plastic, and we experimented with using a different type of warp in the plastic, so not just a see-through.
This was a prototype.
Yeah, this is a prototype of some of the plastic, but you can see that there's different colors of warp, and it was really about trying to implement different elements with the plastic waste in order to elevate it.
You can never have like 2 exactly the same, because
yeah, no, it's
to make a collection if they...
Yeah, it's impossible to mass produce at the moment because this initiative, it's so small. So each plastic sheet that you make will be very unique. Even if you make 2 black plastic sheets, there will always be different small nuances that are.
It's nice because it's unique.
Yeah, so that really gives a unique perspective on the whole project. But of course, if you're trying to tailor to bigger buyers, they would like to order a certain amount of bags that is fairly similar, so the customer knows what she or he will get. So I'm working on this aspect of trying to have bags that looks alike, but also have a more unique line. That's just the way I like to work. You know, I don't envision it as being like a massive world takeover or a worldwide business. It's a small business, and it has to do with humans, because you interact a lot with the actual people that are making the textiles, and you create work in the local region, and it's a socio-economic initiative as well. So it creates growth in this small region of Gurjarat in India. And then also now the project has grown, so I work with a really good factory in Verona in Italy that has existed for 3 generations.
Nice.
And
did they make already some bags for big brands?
Yeah, they do. They do make really nice leather goods for big brands, and also belts. So it's a privilege.
It's paradoxal because you work with the waste, what is left in the environment, and turn this through this Verona fabric that works with luxury in a very special piece. You can have both worlds. Yeah,
extraordinary to see what you can make when you bring these two very different worlds together, because you ultimately creating a completely new product that doesn't exist in the market. And with that amount of craftsmanship involved, it will be a product of high status, because so much work has gone into it. And it's talented people who's made it.
Beautiful piece, and it's so well made, and we could wear it. So nice.
Yeah. So this type of plastic is it's actually printed plastic waste. So it's been
like
found.
Shopping bags.
Yeah. So it's been found like this. Nothing has been done to it. They've just washed it, and then they've cut it into strips and then woven it. So and because the plastic had these different colors on it, it creates a very abstract.
That's
pattern.
why you can make like both of the same.
Exactly.
Yeah. Impossible.
Yeah. So each bag will be very unique.
Yeah. It's a special word.
Yeah. So this is the shape that will be put into production, and the 25 bags which will be made in the plastic they won't have the leather sides. Full plastic, and the handles will be leather, and it will have the leather edge. So I still combine the woven plastic waste with new materials. In this case, high quality leather.
How was like the price accepting of the product? Because you have a very, very nice product here, but I think that sometimes it's hard for buyers to understand the value of it.
I think today that, modern women or men that would like to spend a certain amount of money on their products and their fashion, I think they are interested in owning
special pieces.
Yeah, special pieces that tells a story, and also it gives, it says something about the wearer, really, because it's almost like a political standpoint.
Yeah.
Like the new luxury these type of days will be more towards something more personalized, instead of buyers and clients focusing on the bigger brands that are sort of owning the industry.
I think what it will change really, like the market, is the consumer.
Because it was like, okay, there's this material floating around, just polluting the ground.
Ending up in the ocean?
Yeah, get burned, and these toxic fumes comes out, and it was really just about to see, okay, what can we make out of it? And then the initiative has just slowly grown, and now after these years, it's starting to show that, okay, you can actually make a business out of this if you do it in the right way. So I think it's a sign that I hope this is how people will think more about design in the future. Like it has to be, it has to be cyclical.
One of the big problems of the consumer also is, one, to understand where are we in this movement, what have to be done, and secondly, to afford the prices, because it looks like cheap because it's plastic and made in the environment, but we've seen here, we've talked here, it's not this way. And for now, this type of work still costs a little bit.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's not to everyone.
Yeah.
This is a challenge that. How do you see?
It is a challenge. Yeah. I think it will be about having a wide range of products, so you can accommodate to different price points. So you know, for example, a bigger bag in this size will obviously be more expensive compared to a smaller bag like this. And also I'm producing bags that are even smaller, so small wallets, iPhone cases, laptop covers, like bags that doesn't require that much sculpting from the artisans in Italy. And in this way, I'm hoping to target a wider range of customers and a different price. I do Galeries Lafayette in Paris. We're the first ones to make an order last year, and the bags were in the shop this spring.
This is a nice motivation to keep working. Like if Galeries Lafayette has a very nice selection of products, believed. Yeah. Now maybe next season you can break through this.
The wall. I was really happy that they made the first order, because it kind of showed that there is some big players in the industry that can see why this is an important product to have in their shop.
Yeah, it's important product because of the upcycling and because of what can make in the life of these women working in India, because I'm sure that changed a lot of them in their lives.
Yeah, I mean the initiative started out with only 3 women beginning it. So they saw all this plastic waste really destroying their local surroundings, and they were fed up with it. And
they would walk like it's towards the streets, right?
The plastic is everywhere in the street because there's no garbage system implemented in that region. So especially Gurjarat is has a terrible plastic waste problem. So these women, they saw it as an opportunity to create an income for themselves, because
and also have a better environment.
And also that, and they also go out to schools to educate the young students, and they ask the young students to bring in the household plastic waste.
Oh, that's nice.
So they can transform it, and then they can show them what is possible to make from plastic waste.
This is very important, because once you start educating like the young ones, then you can really change the future.
Yes.
Because for now, imagine India is so big, there's so many people, it's poor, it's hard to change the way of living right now. Yeah. But if you start educating
that's
the young ones, maybe they can do something differently.
Yeah, I mean it starts from sort of grassroots movements, and then these women are so amazing because they've really just spotted an environmental problem, and they've combined it with their
house income.
And they've combined it with their traditional weaving skills, and then now they make incomes for themselves, and they've also they've made other women, other weavers participate in the program.
How many they have?
Today it's grown, so there's about 20 weavers today.
Wow, from 3 to 20.
So it's growing, and also actually the men want to weave the plastic now, because it started out being kind of a taboo thing to do, to weave the plastic waste, but because they've seen how we've raised the quality of the plastic.
On my research, I've noticed that here in Denmark there are a lot of brands that focus on either social or sustainability areas, and I've seen that you have, not you specifically, but this market has some kind of support from the government, and it does make a difference, right?
Yes, there's a really good arts funding system in Denmark, so the government supports young startups that has a green agenda or has a good idea or wants to change something. I mean, it's not just anyone who can get the funding, but you apply for it and you have a plan and you've done some good research about your project. You don't necessarily need a green agenda. You can get arts funding if you just have a good idea. But because everything in the society at the moment is quite focused on green energy, I was lucky with this project to get a bit of funding in the beginning from the government to start off. And it's really helpful that we have this system and that the government is interested in supporting small projects like this. I guess Denmark in that matter is very they would like to be very green, and it's really what the politicians are talking about a lot these days, and it's a very privileged place to live, so we have these different systems in place and you can apply for lots of different funding, and that's great.
What can be very important for the brands and this market grows is besides like the government supports or investment, if we all do something.
Yeah, it is going to be a collaborative effort, you know. Everyone has to chip in a little bit and get out of their comfort zone.
Move forward.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's how society and the world develops, I guess. It's about collaborating and believing in these type of small projects.
Yeah, and I'm sure in a very short time you're gonna come up with new technique or something new for us to inspire us.
I hope so.
I'm gonna go to Brazil and then have some research.
Oh, I would love to, yeah.
I have a lot of material.
Yeah, I could start a plastic initiative in Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for seeing me.